Welcome back to N's NotebookLM. Today, we are going to explore a truly radical rethinking of what a home can even be. Forget everything you thought you knew about traditional housing because we're diving into the concept of the Earthship. It's a vision for self-sufficient living, all laid out in Michael Reynolds' foundational book, and honestly, it might just change how you see your world.
This quote from the book really sets the stage, doesn't it? It's not just about building a better house, it's about building a survival vessel. The author sees this kind of coming flood of environmental and systemic emergencies, and he's basically arguing that we need a whole new kind of ark to get through it.
So what's the big problem we're trying to solve here? Well, according to the author, it's what he calls the modern housing trap. The idea is that our homes, they aren't really shelters anymore. They're more like dependent compartments. And this visual from the book, it just gets right to the heart of that dependency. Think about it. Our homes are literally plugged into these gigantic centralized grids for everything: power, water, sewage, you name it. And these systems, as the source argues, not only create a ton of pollution, but they also tie us to this super fragile web that, let's be honest, can break pretty easily.
And this right here, this just perfectly illustrates how absurd that dependency has become. This is a real anecdote from the book, by the way. A simple snowstorm knocks out the power, and suddenly people with pantries full of food can't eat because their only can openers are electric. It's kind of crazy, and it really highlights just how vulnerable we've allowed ourselves to become.
So this brings us to the proposed solution, the Earthship. And you have to understand, this isn't just some eco-friendly building. No, it's a complete philosophical shift. It's a self-sufficient vessel designed from the ground up for survival and for independence.
Okay, so what is an Earthship, officially? The book defines it as a self-contained vessel. And the key phrase here is that it sustains itself by interfacing with natural phenomena. An Earthship doesn't fight nature, it's designed to work with it. It's like it's built to dance with the elements instead of just putting up walls to keep them out.
And this comparison really shows you that core difference in philosophy. A conventional house, right, it puts up walls and shades to block the sun, the wind, the rain. An Earthship, on the other hand, is literally shaped and positioned to encounter these forces and use them as free resources.
So how does it actually do that? Well, this leads us to maybe the most important engineering principle behind the whole idea: using the building's own mass to store and regulate temperature.
And this is the central analogy you really need to get. Don't think of an Earthship as just walls and a roof. No, you have to think of the entire structure as a massive thermal battery, soaking up and storing energy from the sun, just like a rechargeable battery stores electricity. The book uses this absolutely brilliant barrel analogy to explain thermal mass. So a typical modern home, with its thin, insulated walls, is like that flat surface you see. Temperature, whether it's hot or cold, it just hits it and runs right off. But a high-mass Earthship is like a barrel. It can absorb and hold a huge amount of that temperature, which keeps the inside environment stable. And here's how that actually works over a 24-hour cycle. The big sun-facing glass wall lets in all that solar energy during the day, which then gets soaked up by those super dense walls and the floor. Then, at night, when the air starts to cool down, all that stored heat slowly radiates back out, keeping the whole place warm without a furnace. It's pretty amazing.
Now, this whole philosophy of interfacing with nature, it goes way beyond just heating and cooling. It extends to every single critical system. We're talking power, water, and even growing your own food. The water system is just so elegant. Rainwater is collected from the roof, you use it for washing and bathing, and then that gray water is channeled through indoor planters. It waters food-producing plants, and the plants and soil clean the water in the process. It's this beautiful, living, closed loop.
And that gray water system feeds right into another core part of the design, an integrated greenhouse. This greenhouse acts as the home's main hallway, and it's also the main sun catcher. It's not just some add-on, it's a fundamental piece of the machine, giving you fresh food right where you live all year long.
And of course, there's electricity. Solar panels, sometimes wind turbines. They capture all that energy, and it's stored in actual batteries. This provides all the power the home needs, totally severing that cord to the fragile, centralized grid we talked about earlier.
Okay, now we get to the most radical and, let's face it, the most iconic part of this whole concept. How in the world do you build these massive, dense walls that are the heart of the Earthship? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight, in what our society throws away.
I mean, that's the big question, right? You need all this incredible thermal mass, but it has to be cheap and easy to find. So where does this magical building material actually come from? And here it is, the genius, kind of startling answer. The main building block is one of the most problematic waste products we have: old tires. Michael Reynolds sees these things not as garbage, but as a freely available, unbelievably durable, and perfectly shaped resource. It's a total paradigm shift.
What's so amazing is how simple the process is. It's super low tech, but it is a lot of work. You just take a tire, you pack it with dirt from right there on the building site, and you pound it with a sledgehammer until it becomes this solid 300-pound brick. It's a method that runs on human energy, not industrial energy.
And this is the end result. You get a home that doesn't just sit on the land, it's of the land. It's nestled right into the earth, it's built from the earth, and it's designed to live in total harmony with the sun, the wind, and the rain.
So ultimately, we're left with this one question, and it really gets to the very heart of the Earthship philosophy. It challenges all of us to rethink the most fundamental structure in our lives. Is a house just a passive box we happen to live in, or could it be an active, living vessel that actually partners with us and with the planet for our survival? If this topic has captured your interest and you'd like to dive deeper, the book is called Earthship: How to Build Your Own, Volume 1 by Michael Reynolds.